Everyone is making OSINT videos right now. Find the email, find the phone number, find the dog's name, find where they went on vacation in 2019. Cool, you have a spreadsheet full of information. Now what? You're gonna print everything on a t-shirt? You're gonna make a paint with that? Nobody talks about that part. The moment where all that information stops being a spreadsheet and starts being a weapon. That is social engineering, and that's what this video is about. So you just spent 3 hours OSINTing a target. You know their job, their manager's name, their kid's school, the gym they go to. We already spotted the problem. You have data, but data doesn't open doors. People do. And people don't get manipulated by data. They get manipulated by a story. That is the part almost every OSINT tutorial skips, because honestly, it is the hard part. Raccoon is a checklist. Social engineering is psychology, timing, and a bit of acting. You can fuzz your way through a human being with a word list. Let's clear something up, because all of you think social engineering is just lying to people, and the other half is some Mr. Robot mind hacking fantasy. No, I'm kidding, I love Mr. Robot and those scenes are fire, man. If you haven't seen that series, you're not allowed to watch this video at all. By the way, it is the real art of exploitation. Same word we use for a CVE, except instead of exploiting a buffer overflow, you're exploiting trust, urgency, or better, fear. The 4 things that make a human stops thinking critically for about 8 seconds. That is usually all you need. Step 1. Pick the vector. Everything you gathered in OSINT gets sorted into one question. What's the fastest way to make this person believe I'm someone I'm not? Organization chart, impersonate IT support, or the new hire nobody's met? Maybe schedule. You know exactly when the real person is out, so no one can double check you. Or maybe personal details. Step 2. Building the pretext. Not a lie, a pretext. The best part? The best ones aren't creative, they are boring. I'm calling about the invoice gets you further than I'm calling from the CEA. Step 3. Create urgency. Too much, people get suspicious. Too little, they don't act. You want, I need this in the next hour, not the building is on fire. 4. Execute and adapt. Phishing emails, phishing call, physical pretext. The moment they respond, you're not following a script anymore. You're having a conversation. That's where the OSINT pay off. Now, I'm not gonna teach you how to cold call someone's help desk. That is a strike waiting to happen. Instead, let's look at history. Twitter 2020. That breach didn't start with a 0 day. It started with a phone call. Somebody's OSINT gave the attacker just enough to sound like they belong. July 15, 2020. Within a few hours, the Twitter accounts of Obama, Biden, Bill Gates, Elon Musk, Kanye West, Apple, and Uber all get hijacked. Every one of them posts the same scam. Send Bitcoin and get double back, only for the next 30 minutes. By the time, the attackers had pulled in over 118k in Bitcoin. The mastermind, a 17 years old recent high school graduate, not a national state group. The attack started on the afternoon when one or more hackers killed several Twitter employees, claiming to be from the internal IT help desk. The pretext worked because it leaned on something real. Due to COVID, Twitter employees were working remotely. The attackers likely leveraged a recent global outage to make the call believable. Say they were responding to a VPN problems the employee had reported. A perfect pretext, because in the middle of a pandemic, with everyone working remotely, a VPN issue was completely plausible. The attacker first compromised login credentials of lower level employees who did not have access to the administrative tools. Then the smart part. Not all the employees initially targeted had permission to use the account management tools, but the attackers used those first credentials to access internal system and gather information about Twitter's internal process. That knowledge then lets them target additional employees who did have access to the account support tools, the Department of Financial Services. In other words, the first wave of phishing wasn't about grabbing the final access, it was internal recon. They learned how the real helpdesk actually talks, which tools it uses, the terminology, and use that knowledge to make round 2 far more convincing. They even got past 2-factor authentication on the employees who had privileged access. The attack unfolded in 3 phases: social engineering to gain network access, taking over premium usernames to result, and finally hijacking high-profile account for the Bitcoin scam, all within roughly 24 hours. No exploit, no CVE, no malware, just a believable pretext, a real event as a cover, progressive escalation, and timing. By the way, if you want to learn more or maybe you want to support me, check out some links down below in the description. On the blue side, the fix isn't spam filters, it's culture. Verify out of band. The best pretext falls apart the second someone say, let me call you back on the number I already gave. On the offensive side, how do you prepare yourself? The best answer will be pinned in the comment.